Okay, right. Let's move on to Youth Sector and A Definitive Guide to Easy Living then. So this is a single that you gave me from Youth Sector, who I've already talked about fairly extensively from seeing them at Stag and Dagger. So Youth Sector are a Brighton-based indie rock band. They've got a bit of a 60s, 70s vibe to their style. We talked about they all dress up in suits with big collars. There's funk, there's disco, there's swagger and polish to their music. So this was actually the song they opened with at Stag and Dagger, and I was just, absolutely blown away instantly by them. And I think if I wasn't quite sold on the song yet, that performance kind of tipped me over the edge, because it's just an absolute belter of a song. There's those musical cues that I talked about before. There's kind of Talking Heads-esque vocals. There's a bit of the B-52s in there. The odd bit of Razorlight. Again, I'm going to name drop Dogs Die in Hot Cars, because there's just something about this band that remind me of Dogs Die in Hot Cars. And then Huey Lewis and the News. It's just funky bass lines, spiky guitar lines, splashes of synth. All the vocal moments where other members of the band join in, like the odd shout, a wee bit of falsetto, the kind of full-on, I'm going to call them gang vocals, but it's not quite as rowdy as like gang vocals. It's more like shouty harmonies, I guess. And it's just like quite a joyful, kind of uplifting song. They mix things up roughly at the 2-minute mark. Still pretty funky. There's a bit of a change in stomp to the drums, a different punch to the vocals, and some nice stabbing guitars. But overall, it's just a really cool song, and a really interesting band.
Yeah, I love this song, man. I think they've got a definite flair for songwriting, and those funky little hooks, that kind of breakdown. I think it's maybe part of the kind of pre-chorus, where I think you get that gang vocals, like you said, where they think they sing the lyric, "You know it isn't very nice," is such a big hook for me. Like, you just find yourself singing along with it. It's fantastic. And I thought, like, although it's a kind of funky song and quite a cheerful song, for lack of a better word or phrase, I thought it dovetailed quite nicely with Meryl Streep's single from last time, because it is about homelessness, effectively.
Oh, right, okay.
It is about deliberately designing, I suppose, architecture and streets and towns and what have you to look nice, rather than thinking about the people that live within it, and the people who are maybe less fortunate and have to kind of live out in the streets. Because it talks about, I think in the opening verse, it kind of talks about making benches and deliberately putting an armrest in the middle so people can't lie down in it. Things like that, spikes under bridges and what have you as well.
I have to say I didn't really latch on to much of that stuff, but then I think it's part of that is just because it's such an immediate song and so catchy and so fun that I'm just like too busy getting kind of caught up in
grooving away to
everything that's going on. Yeah, like I said, there's bits, the stuff that reminded me of Huey Lewis and the News was like specifically like songs like The Power of Love. Like, there's just weird bits in there that reminded me of that. And, I mentioned Burning Down the House before. There were bits on the song that reminded me of that. So it's just a really interesting, fun song. But, it's cool that there's also that depth to the lyrics and the themes on the song as well.
What did you give it?
So I've given this a 9 out of 10. I think it's excellent. Exceptional.
It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm handing them out like nobody's business.
Is this the way it's going to be from now on? It's just like...
yes, fucking... No, I loved it, man. As I think I said last time, like, it was a bit lazy of me, I suppose. I kind of chucked this in last time, basically just because it was an excuse just to talk about them. Because, yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you did, and it I think the fact that we were covering this reminded me of who Youth Sector were, and therefore I was like, I'll go and see them at Stag and Dagger, because otherwise I might have just been like, oh, I don't know who they are. I'll go and see someone else. So it was good that I got the chance to see them, because yeah, they're a brilliant live band.
That's why they call me the best of the best architects in the urbanized West. Well, can we read it up? Can we tilt it down? It's ill-advised to try lying in at your fall out. You know you've been in big place before you come into my town. Can't you see it's a free room and it must stop? Let there be light, let there be land, let there be concrete. Oh, let there be water and food to eat, let there be concrete.
It's not finished. It's finished.